What's up, pals? Yeah, can't flip for ship here. Just wanted to do a quick video talking about something that I thought was kind of interesting, which is the factors that make you feel like you're not a good flipper. And so it's kind of interesting to kind of talk about these types of topics. It's just, one of those things where everybody feels like they're not as good of a flipper as they are. And it's just interesting because, like, I know people that are great flippers. The average person who's like on my channel, when I go to their channel and see them flip, they flip amazingly. And so I just wanted to say there's a certain factor that you guys aren't thinking about that determines, some of these things, which is, you guys don't think about it, but time is the biggest factor that you don't consider. And it's kind of sad because you get these people who are actually very talented flippers and they just feel like they're not good, and it kind of upsets me. You have to remember, like, there's times where me as an individual, I will kind of come along the path and be like practicing a thing. Like, let's say I wanted to learn the giraffe right there, thumb giraffe. If I wanted to learn something like that, I would take the time to sit down. I would take the time to sit down and be like, all right, I got to learn that, right? But the average person, like, thinks that, hey, I got to learn that in that instance, right? But that's not true at all. Sorry, I had to cut, but back onto what I was saying. I think you have to remember that when you sit down to do a trick, that doesn't, like, you're gonna learn when you're sitting down, but you also learn a lot whenever you are in the process of, just getting a feel for the Balisong. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that little process is like, yeah, it's gonna matter a lot about, like, practicing in that moment. But the biggest factors don't happen in the moment. The factors happen whenever you're practicing ambiently, or not ambiently, but like passively. You're gonna realize when you're practicing that you're getting a better feel for the Balisong and you're getting more experience along that line. And then whenever you go to sit down and do the trick, just by the factor of having flipped for longer, you're gonna be better at doing that trick. And so it's not always about learning in that moment. It's about having the time in the hobby to kind of know, oh shit. It's about having that time in the hobby to kind of know, okay, this is just how it goes. It's, I'm slowly progressing, but it's not about necessarily, knowing in one instance. And so that's what kind of frustrates me, is like, people say I'm so bad, but it's like, you don't realize that the longer you're in this hobby, the better you're going to get. And you're not bad for where you're at. But people want to compare themselves to people like Jelly and stuff. So you got to remember, a lot of these guys have been flipping for a very long time. So you can't necessarily compare yourself, because it's just not fair to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of where I wanted to go with that. Just remember, comparing yourself doesn't help you out at all. If anything, it only hurts you. And so it's not something that's like a good practice. But just a quick video today. I just wanted to cover, a factor that a lot of people, especially new people, aren't really considering, is like, you don't know that the biggest factor is something that you have really no control over. And you don't know how good a flipper you're going to be whenever you get to the point where you've been flipping for a certain amount of time. You may feel like people are better than you, but you got to remember, even me, I've been flipping for almost a year now. You know what I'm saying? How good you are at flipping does not, I can tell you this, how good you are at flipping does not affect how much you enjoy the hobby at all. Of course, like, yeah, you're going to want to learn tricks. Learning tricks is part of the fun, but at the same time, damn, I messed up that 0G. I'll try it again in a minute. But yeah, but at the same time, learning tricks is not the only part of the hobby that you have to think about. Let's go, baby. But yeah, quick little post today. Nothing too treacherous. But yeah, so that's the post. Rock on.